And of course, coming up at the half, which Pat O'Brien, of course, will host, we'll take a closer look at the Patrick Ewing situation thus far with the Knicks this year. The 16 points scored by the Bulls is the fewest points given up by the Knicks in a period this year. They have been a pretty good defensive team largely, although they have the lowest scoring average in the NBA. They haven't even averaged 100 points a game, and they fail to get 100 in half of their games. Rory Sparrow comes into the ball game for the Knicks, replacing Gerald Henderson, and of course Sparrow was the starter before Henderson moved in, and I think his confidence has suffered a bit.
And I can see the reasons why, because he would probably have the most difficult adjustment to make to this style of play. He was so used to playing slow down basketball with Ubi, to try and pick up that pace again under Hill, too tough a job for him.
Elston Turner comes in for the Chicago Bulls. Those are the two substitutions. Start the second period. Oakley is pushed by Cummings, and that's his first foul. And Jordan is getting a breather right now on the bench, having scored 7 points, but not the kind of game people are used to.
You know, the Bulls got lots of good shots in that first quarter, but just couldn't hit them.
Corzine inside. By Cummings, got a piece of it. Corzine hustles. Coulter still trying, missing outside, and Tucker comes down with it.
Boy, did he make a mental adjustment, Coulter. He missed the first jump shot short, and he aimed it so he would be long, and that's exactly what happened. Hit the back of the rim.
Against Corzine, Cartwright missed everything. And it's still Knicks ball, and credit Kenny Walker for the hustle as it was last touched by Oakley.
Well, he's the guy that has not been incorporated into this style of play yet. He's got to get his on the fast break, Kenny Walker, or off the boards. And they're hoping that he will battle hard for rebounds.
He's had a back injury, and that slowed him lately. Cartwright.
Now that was a power pivot move, Dick.
Cartwright and Ewing each with 8 points to lead the Knicks, who are up by 12, and that's their biggest lead. Oakley going in, tipped up and in by Corzine, I believe.
That's what they need from Oakley. Strong moves to the middle after he gets in the low post. He hasn't been doing that an awful lot.
Knick lead is 10 early here in the second period. Six on the shot clock. Cartwright is fouled. Elston Turner that time. You really went up several octaves on this move.
I'll tell you, when I see a guy take it strong to the hoop like Cartwright does right now, Corzine lets him move to the middle, and strong up hook shot, that's unstoppable. And that's the type of shot that Ewing has to develop, I think, to really be effective for this club.
Foul was on Turner, and you got a glimpse of a guy Tommy talked about before, Brad Sellers, who was a surprising 9th pick in the draft, a 7-footer out of Ohio State. And I kind of think deep down that Doug Collins would have preferred Johnny Dawkins as his pick. But Sellers is in there now. What will he do eventually?
Sellers really has to get used to the physical pro game. That's his big problem right now. I think he's got an awful lot of skills. He can shoot outside. He's big. And for a guy 7 feet, he can go out and play some of those quick forwards. That's pretty astounding skill he has there. I think he'll work in nicely ultimately for this ball club.
You stress the word ultimately, because he's nowhere near that yet. 30-18, the Knicks lead. Minute and a half gone by. Second period.
Look at the size advantage Sellers has on Kenny Walker, however.
And Oakley and Cummings have to be separated by Dick Bavetta right now. Hey, this is Christmas Day, Tommy. They shouldn't be going at that.
Where is all the good cheer, Richard? Give him an eggnog.
His second personal foul.
Watch the inside right now. They're battling as Oakley really tries to go for position. Cummings denies him, and that's when the bodies start to bang.
Foul is on Cummings. I know he's your kind of guy, because in fact he kind of looks like you did in your latter years as a pro.
Sloping shoulders, sleepy eyes, and the next thing you know, he's in your face.
2 fouls on Cummings, 2 on the Knicks. Corzine guarded by Cartwright. Tucker into the hands of the playmaker, Sparrow. Sellers is on Walker, and you pointed out he's got several inches on Kenny Walker, the 7-footer does, Sellers. Coulter.
He was quick to the leap to deflect that shot by Walker. I saw Sellers do a reasonably decent job on Larry Bird defensively.
Turner. This is to the corner, and Corzine goes up. He has his shot blocked, and it was Kenny Walker who got a piece of that one, and the Knicks come down.
Corzine worked so hard. If he could just jump 4 inches, he'd score a ton.
Cummings misses, and here's Oakley, and it was Tucker who made the fine defensive play, knocking the ball away. Sparrow with the fancy pass to Cummings. Nine on the shot clock. Sellers giving Walker the outside shot. Sparrow off a Cartwright screen hits for the Knicks.
I think ultimately Sparrow could be a great middleman because he can really hit that shot. He just has to have the tempo in his head to help the Knicks.
The Bulls have not had the lead at all in this game, and the Knicks have their biggest margin right now of 14. 8:35 remaining in the first half. Corzine nowhere to pass through. And you know, Tommy, the Bulls were standing around on offense. Nobody was moving without the ball.
One of their big problems, they stand around when Michael Jordan gets it. They don't get open.
Well, Jordan is going to be coming back in the game. And we'll be back at Madison Square Garden after this word from your local station. Here's a look at the Atlantic Division standings. And the story here is that the Boston Celtics did not lose their 9th game last year until February 13th. And they're locked in a battle now with Philadelphia, and you can throw the Washington Bullets in there. And the big story for the Celtics is that Bill Walton is going to be out for about 6 or 7 more weeks with surgery, and you know how important he was last year. What else with the Boston Celtics right now, Tommy?
They are having monumental problems with their bench. The bench that was so effective for them last year and helped them win the title is no longer there. The 6th, 7th, and 8th man are no longer functioning members. So all the rest of the benches had to move up several notches to help contribute, and they haven't done the job.
Starters playing too many minutes?
That's been a consequence, and that could really hurt them coming down the tail end of the season.
Michael Jordan is back in the game for the Bulls, who trail 32-18. And there'll be a foul against Charles Oakley, and that will be his 2nd personal foul. So the Knicks will go to the line, and it'll be Pat Cummings.
Do I love to watch Pat Cummings play the low post. Now, he can't jump, but he can get a shot off in the low post because he knows how to read the defense. He turns away all the time from the defense, and he throws some fakes at him every once in a while. Smart player.
And wants to play a lot more than he's been playing. He's the backup front court player, and in New York these days, everyone is under the trade gun, although with the salary cap, not the easiest thing in the world to do. And Cummings' name has been mentioned along with almost everybody.
I think it'd be a mistake to get rid of Cummings.
Michael Jordan trying to get on track here. He has scored 7 points. But there's a lot more he'd like to do. And Jordan loses it out of bounds. Whatever the Knicks are doing, and Bob Hill had in mind for Michael Jordan, has worked thus far.
They have doubled him every time he's gotten the ball in a low post. They're trying to make him cough it up.
Cartwright with a high arcing shot. The rebound by Oakley. 8 rebounds for Charles Oakley.
But Oakley, with all that great defensive rebounding, holds the ball 2 counts before he finds the guard. That stops the fast break.
Sellers draws the foul. 7-footer rookie from Ohio State getting the chance. And as you mentioned, Kenny Walker has his hands full. That's his 3rd personal foul. And so Walker's going to have to come out of the game, and the veteran Louis Orr will replace him.
This kid, Brad Sellers, why I like him as a potential player is he got great speed for a 7-footer, and he can hit that outside shot a lot like Bob McAdoo did. You wouldn't think of a 7-footer as potential quick forward, but he could do it.
Orr is into the ball game and has been kind of losing favor with the Knicks. He's a 38% shooter, and his name has been mentioned in the trade. And I'm sure his confidence has been at a low ebb right now. 33-20, and we talked about Coulter. Orr is the 3rd poorest shooter in the NBA right now.
Boy, Elston Turner is just trying to keep the ball right out of Sparrow's hands.
Sparrow. And it's still Knicks ball. Last touched by Chicago. .726 remaining in the first half. A 13-point lead by the Knicks. Cummings against Oakley. They isolate him. And Cummings travels.
That's